Hey everybody, I'm Hugh Brownstone for Three Blind Men and an Elephant, and today we're going to talk about this guy, Sony's ICD SX2000 field recorder. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. The SX2000 sounds great, but so does the Zoom H1 at less than half the price. But here's the thing. I don't care if it's twice the price. If the SX2000 had been available when I bought the H1, I'd have bought the little Sony instead. That's because the SX2000 is not only beautifully designed, wonderful to hold in hand, and easy to navigate in ways that the H1 can't match. It has a brilliant little Bluetooth-enabled companion app called Rec Remote. Rec Remote allows you to remotely monitor and control the SX2000 through your smartphone or tablet, while it operates as a live event recorder, say an acoustic set in a club or a meeting in a conference room or in my living room, or as a wired body pack lav system. I'm relying pretty much exclusively on lav these days, and I'm on a quest to get my kit smaller and lighter all the time. But you may have different priorities. While the Sony competes directly with the Zoom H1n for live events, this is a crowded field with entries from Tascam, Roland, Marantz, Nagra, Olympus, more than I can even think of. In some ways, it even competes with my Tascam DR70D, my Sony UPD11, and my Roadlink. So, it's a bird, it's a plane, yeah, okay, let's not get carried away. For filmmakers, the SX2000 also competes with the soon-to-be shipping Tascam DR10L, a purpose-built lav body pack system aimed specifically at recording the voices of on-camera talent, and the similarly targeted Juice Link Little Darling. I haven't gotten my hands on either one. The DR10L doesn't start shipping until next month, which is, by the way, when the SX2000 ships. But based on my experience with its much bigger stablemate, the DR70D, I'm willing to bet that the DR10L is an especially compelling value as a wired body pack system. Look, it's $20 less than the Sony, but offers features which make it a better fit for that purpose. It's even smaller, it includes a lav mic, and it has dual channel recording that the SX2000 doesn't, so that if one channel is too hot, you know how this works, you can work with the second channel, which is recording at minus 12 dB relative to the first. The DR10L Little Tascam is also less than 2/3 the price of a similarly configured Little Darling. On the other hand, the Sony has Rec Remote and built-in stereo mics, making it a much more flexible tool than either one. I do own a Zoom H1, so let's take a look at how the Sony fares against it category by category. I trotted out my electric acoustic guitar, which I haven't played in a really long time, and learned once again, yes, it's about the gear, but no, it's not about the gear, it's about the people. My playing skills have evaporated, but I still thought it would be a good way to tease out differences in sound between the Sony and the Zoom using their built-in stereo mics. Wrong. I couldn't discern a meaningful difference between them. But then again, I learned a long time ago that I prefer pear ripple to most fine wines. And if my oral sensibilities are anything like my taste buds, you may hear differently. And if you do, I envy you. By the way, have you been able to tell which is which during this episode? Right? I'm recording with both using a pair of Rode Labs from my Filmmaker kits. Yeah, both auto gain, by the way. The Sony and the Zoom are more similar than not, each offering similar recording formats and fidelity, commonly located controls, like the power and hold button, volume and input level, and record, the ability to mark specific points in the recording, and 3.5mm, 1/8 inch jacks for headphones and an extra mic. On the other hand, there are real differences too. Sony offers a number of preset recording scenes, just like on cameras, including auto voice recognition, loud music, soft music, interview, voice notes, and a couple of custom scenes. Yeah, 2 memory settings, and of course, off. Sony offers folder management, filter and mic sensitivity management, limiter, and more. The Zoom's feature set is relatively sparse by comparison and a lot more difficult to access, but it gives you the basics and it works. I think the Sony is gorgeous. It's thinner, it's got a bigger screen and much better menu system as a result. It's also got more buttons on the front, and that helps too. It's got a full-size USB port, which is kind of clever, versus the Zoom's micro USB, which I hate. The Sony has a lovely, what looks like leather case, maybe it's faux leather, and this little tether cable giving you the option of either plugging in directly, like a USB drive, or having a little length so that you can rest it on the desk while it's connected to your computer, and that's my preferred way. More importantly, the Sony sports a built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery. It's good for 15 to 30 hours depending on format, bitrate, and sampling rate. The Zoom uses a AA or LR6 battery for up to 10 hours recording in MP3 and 9.5 hours in WAV. The Sony also comes with 16 gigabytes of onboard memory and has a slot for a micro SD card beside. The Zoom is micro SD only. The biggest difference between the 2 field recorders has nothing to do with physical ergos, though. It's this rec remote. It's hard to believe that this app comes from the same company that brings us Play Memories Smart Remote. This is the remote app for the A6 and A7 series Sony mirrorless cameras, which I think is really just underfunctioned. Rec Remote is more elegant, it's more complete, and it's more useful. It connects to the SX2000 via Bluetooth, simply, quickly. It provides record and playback functions, average and VU meters, and control over other settings like recording levels. And the thing is, it's visible and touch accessible on the screen of my iPhone 7 Plus, which is almost 8 times the size of the recorder screen. I calculated it, just over 7,000 square millimeters on the iPhone versus 961. So like I said, this is big. This is the future, and that future is now. The Zoom offers none of this and instead relies on a small number of buttons and button combinations for rudimentary functionality, and if I'm honest with myself, it annoys the crap out of me every time I use it. But I guess this is one more instance where you gets what you pays for. One very important note. The Sony's remote monitoring is not via headphones, but by the meters. This is visual, not oral. And yeah, I wish it could monitor orally, A-U-R-A-L-O-Y, even if in reduced fidelity. A couple days ago, B&H ran a sale. If you didn't mind bright, IKEA-ish blue, you could have bought the Zoom H1N for $64.95, but that ship has sailed. Still, you can buy the black, silver, or again, blue for $99.95 at less than half the price of the Sony. The H1 remains a pretty compelling dollars and cents, S-E-N-S-E, get it, argument. The Sony wins on ease and joy of use and tunability, but the Zoom wins on value. Just like whether or not you want to pay for built-in neutral density filters and real physical controls that come with a more expensive dedicated video camera, it comes down to your priorities and budget. Either recorder can get you what you need, and that means it's a win no matter which one you choose. If the H1 talks to you, go ahead and buy it. You'll be giddy with the value and audio quality on offer. If the SX2000 talks to you, go for it. With its easier accessibility and remote functionality, it speaks to me too. Rec Remote's flexibility and touch interface on a much larger and visible screen is worth it to me. But if you're looking for a recorder with XLR inputs or more than 2 channels, well, then neither one of these guys will do the trick. At that point, take a very close look at the Tascam DR70D. Both companies offer pretty neat apps, Rode Rec and Zoom Handy Recorder, that turn your smartphone into a more complete digital recorder. They both offer top-notch interfaces, expanded parameter settings compared to what comes with the phones natively, and connectivity to the cloud. Now, you can argue that in some ways they compete with Sony's Rec Remote, but I don't think so. Neither offers the remote capability of Sony's Rec Remote, relying instead on the phone's onboard mics or add-on mics like Rode's ICD or Zoom's IQ6 and IQ7. All of which, by the way, are worth checking out if you're on a super tight budget, though I haven't been hands-on with any of them. Anyway, that's it. If you like what you saw, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Hey, even consider using the affiliate links, which could actually make a difference for me in 2017 and still won't cost you a penny. And as always, I love our conversations in the comments section, so please do chime in there. I continue to learn so much from you guys. For 3 Blind Men and an Elephant, I'm Hugh Brownstone. See you next time.